Life takes us on amazing journeys. And we know that your journey is so far from over.
I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, wet. Tell them run it up, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, wet. Tell them run it up, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell them run it up. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me.
Hello all, and welcome to Sip with the Witch. Today, our guest is Janae Hanks. She is not only an entrepreneur, a single mother, someone who has brought herself up from the absolute bottom to where she is now, being able to raise her son on her own, run a complete business that's very successful. She is also an ascended master. She is a teacher. She is a guide. And she is here to help us all move forward in our everyday lives by simply applying the practices that she is going to help us learn to understand. Welcome, Janae.
Peace. How you doing, my love?
I am great.
Yes, it's an honor for me to be here.
Okay, so Janae is we're going to talk about just spiritual growth from where you started in spirituality to where you are, to where you see yourself ascending to. If you could give us a little bit of background about you.
Okay. Well, as she said, I'm Janae Hanks. I started my spiritual journey when I was born. It was a process. When I was 4, from what I remember, I've always been just aware of my surroundings and what was always going on. And I was always able to break things down. I love to break things down. So that's where it started at. I went through some traumas or whatever when I was a child, things with my mother, with her being single. And then I came to the point of, just finding my way as a teenager. When I was 12, that's when I considered myself to be grown, which, a lot of people do. And that's when I started to explore what I thought reality was. Hanging out, being out late, exploring what the world was. From there, I moved to Houston. That was in 2007. I stayed in Florida pretty much partially all my life. And when I got here, I went to Cullen. When I went to Cullen, that's when I was playing basketball and running track. I was pretty good at it, you know what I'm saying, if I say so myself.
Little swag.
Yeah, for sure. And then when I graduated from Cullen Middle School, I went to Yates.
Okay.
Jack Yates High. So when I went to Jack Yates High, I played basketball.
Houstonians know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Houstonians know what that is.
Yeah. The drip sauce. All right. So when I went there, I played basketball, ran track, and that's when I, got pregnant. I was 15 years old when I found out.
Right.
And I had my son when I turned 16. So, that was a big transition. I had to choose. I was like, I don't want to be no mother. I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to explore the world. I could never see me having a child. That was never in what I considered my vision, right? But I didn't know what the world was at that time.
Right.
It was preconceptions of what people thought reality was, and they implemented those things within me.
And how did you, at that age, learn to see through that? What helped you to see through that at such a young age? Because a lot of people are in that same space of trying to figure it all out when they're at 15 or 16. And they don't have a certain guidance. They don't have a certain insight. It's something in them that they're missing where they can't navigate through that, and they get trapped in the social fantasy.
Okay, so for me, like I said, it was the 4-year-old Janae. So I had to sit down and I had to reflect on who, those things that got me to this point, which was 15, right? Which wasn't a big gap, but it was major. And I just had to make a I apologize that I don't have words. It's because it's like it was the best but hardest choice that I ever had to make, because I had to adjust the unknown in order to be known.
So all things are perfect at this moment.
For sure.
All things are absolutely perfect at this moment. And we are doing wonderfully. So when you adjusted, what caused you to know that you needed to adjust?
Looking at my mother.
Okay. So looking at your mother, you were able to see what you wanted her versus what you didn't want, or you were able to see...
I was able to see the things, the beauty and the discipline that she implemented, and the things that she was lacking in, that I would be able to give not only myself but my siblings, because I was not their parent, but their role model first.
Okay, so because what happens is a lot of the times we start these journeys,
right,
and we're becoming these immaculate beings,
right,
and we don't know at what point we decided, okay, I'm going to be this being and not that person.
Right.
So you're saying around the time that you had your amazing, magnificent, spectacular son,
yes,
who stole your entire face, who I've had the pleasure of meeting, is when you decided that you wanted to become a being and not a person.
For sure.
Okay. And the pivotal point of that decision was...
When I went to the doctor, my mother made me go to the doctor. When we went to the doctor is when I made that I had to make that uncomfortable adjustment. So they was like, "What are you gonna do?"
Right.
I didn't have any guidance. So they was like, "Are you going to keep this baby, or are you going, move forward and have the abortion?" So initially, me being stubborn and selfish, I chose to get an abortion, right? And everything, like all the tasks that came up in regards to me getting an abortion was like, no. Okay. I couldn't get an abortion. So when I went, I was like, okay, I'll do a deal. I'll make a deal. This is what I said to the universe. I said, if it's a boy, I'll keep it. Because I can deal with a little boy. I can't deal with another little Janae.
Okay. Understood.
So I made a deal. So I found the clinic, and they said they would do it if I wasn't too far along. So when I went, we went and got the ultrasounds and whatnot. And then in that same stroke, they was like, we don't want to tell you, because when we tell you, you're more prone to keep the child or whatnot. So they told my mama, and she was like, I got to tell you, like it's something telling me. She was like, you having a son, and you're too far along to take him away. He already has a heartbeat.
Right.
So I made the conscious decision. I said, okay. I chose to play tag. So now I'm it.
Oh, so we calling it tag now.
Today we gonna call it tag.
Calling it tag.
So today,
all right. At that age, it might as well be.
Most definitely. So now we, I chose to have sex. So now I'm here, and I have to take on a role of that responsibility, because I thought I was grown.
Okay.
So I finished 9th grade. Once I finished 9th grade, knowing that I was pregnant or whatever, I didn't start showing till the summertime, right before I had him.
Okay.
And then from that stroke, I had him August the 19th, 2008. I became a mother, and that was the best thing that ever happened to me. The fear was the unknown, like him accepting me, right? And I feel like every mother and father have that little, that thing floats in the back of their mind.
Absolutely. I know I have it. I still have it.
For sure. So once we got to that point, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. And he taught me and helped me become the woman that I am today. So that's when it really started. So it was like the initiation when I was 4, and then the dormant because of traumas, and then coming back to life, being rebirthed in 2008.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So when as an Ascended Master, we'll go back over some things for some people who may not know what certain words mean. But for now, as an Ascended Master, you understand that every time you're rebirthed, you make a conscious decision that you're going to come back here to do a certain thing.
Correct.
So you're saying you were rebirthed. You came here to do a certain thing.
Yes.
And then after conceiving, I can say Jaden.
Yes.
Okay, after conceiving Jaden.
Yes.
That's horrible that I asked that after I said it.
It's all good. It's all good.
After conceiving Jaden, you decided to be reborn again?
Yes.
From one state to an ascended state.
Correct.
Okay.
So I'll break that down. So in that phase, I made the conscious decision to be my mother, just a better version. Absolutely. And to break all generational curses unconsciously. See, I wasn't fully aware, but I chose in that moment because I was like, in my mind, I was like, the things that I lacked in receiving from my parents, I was going to give my son that, but not smother him in it, allow him to brace it in his way, and then I just continuously pour into him.
Okay. That is a beautiful sentiment. And actually a magnificent achievement, because me knowing you and knowing your son, that's not even a goal. That's something that I know you've achieved in doing.
Gratitude.
Personally, because he is truly an amazing being, and he's very, very aware.
Yes.
Of who he is, beings, his ancestors, and all things that come with that.
Yes. Thank you.
So, congratulations on that. Although he is still very young, yes. He is very, very old. He has a very wise energy about him, as if he's lived many, many lives. So the life that you brought in, that you decided to bring in, was one that was meant to change nations, and you brought him in such a way,
I did,
that he would be skilled and prepared to do so. So more than congratulations on that.
Gratitude, my love. I appreciate it.
Okay, so let's see. So you said, remind me again of what the aspects of your mother were that made you choose the righteous path that you chose. And when I say righteous, I don't mean self-righteous. I mean true righteous. I mean purity. I mean clean. I mean the path of flow, true and utter righteousness, of being one with the all. What was it about her?
Okay.
That she embodied, that chose that? And I'm asking that for a reason, because the people watching want to show those things to their children, to their family, to their friends, to their nieces, so that they can make sure that they choose that path as well.
Okay. For me, it was the lack of love, the lack of intimacy from mother to daughter. You know, just that quality time, just physical touch. These are things that I had to learn when I got older. But at that moment when I was 15, she did what she could. Right. And there's no disrespect to that, because I am grateful. But we, you know, sometimes, like I said at the beginning, you know, we're bound by preconceptions that individuals invest or instill important to us. And, you know, not accepting or reneging on that thing in which we were taught. Because that's the beauty of ascension, right? Going against the grain, but accepting the grain at the same time.
Right. We let go of those preconceived notions that were given to us.
Yes.
And just allow things to be and people to be who they are.
Right.
Just because I know you love me, I have an expectation that you show me with flowers and candy and whatever else. But that's not your true expression of love.
Right.
So removing that removed you from those chains and removed you from those bounds, where you were able to forgive.
Yes.
And let go of any negativity or negative energy that was surrounding what you felt like was a lack of at the time, just because you know and you grew to understand that there was no supposed to be. There was no I was supposed to have.
Right.
It was just, it is.
It is.
It is.
Yes.
And in every moment, if we live in the it is, we will always stay in flow. Okay, I'm not upset because this person is being mean to me. They shouldn't treat me that way. It just is. Your response, you're in control of, but your reaction, you have some power. You have some power over. But other people, you just learn to accept the is.
Thanks.
And that is a beautiful thing to learn at such an early age, because people struggle with that. And a lot of people don't figure that out till they're damn near in their 50s or plus. Seriously, you know how they say people get stubborn in their old age?
Right.
It's not that they're stubborn, they just accept that it is.
Right.
Very rarely do you meet a 15-year-old who is able to process and stand in that. So, we are all grateful for you and the energy that you bring to that, understanding that it is.
I should.
Even as a child.
Yes.
So, and I say child using that word extremely loosely.
It's all good, my love. I keep it alive.
Yes. Yes,
that's the other key.
So, fast forward.
Okay.
We have Janae Hanks. We have Janae Hanks Services. We have
Legacy pharmacies.
We have legacy pharmacy companies. We are having marijuana farms, and we have power washing companies, and we have all of these things, these educational things. I'm a teacher. I'm a mentor. I teach people. People come to me when they need guidance, and I guide them. I studied under a shaman. You studied under a mambo. You studied under a witch. You studied under many ascended masters. You have studied under disciples. There are so many things, and that's just to name a few.
Yes.
What are some of the most important things that you've picked up from those people?
Patient process, flow and order. You don't have to be confined by anything. It's just a key in order to unlock whatever doors within that's dormant in you, so that you may be that teacher or that master in training for everyone else.
Right. And I love that you said master in training.
Yes.
Because every master is in continuous training.
Yes.
At the point you begin to come out of training,
yes,
you are no longer a master. Because someone just learned something that you refused to.
Yeah, so you can't stay dormant in growth.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm a student of life. I am an alchemist, and you taught me about the alchemist, and I've read it, and it changed my whole. It made me upgrade the prescription in my lenses that I wear.
Ashe.
Yes, so I see reality from the clearest view. I do read to study my self-approve, but I do study people, places, and things. And that's how I'm able to grasp and be a part of the flow in the ebb. And even when it's chaotic, it's still in order.
Absolutely.
Yes. And I breathe through everything.
And you said you breathe.
Yes.
So we understand true breathing.
Yes.
True breathing is the art of actually, humans think they breathe.
No.
Everybody thinks you slap a baby on the butt, it screams, it's breathing. Now, the baby probably is, because it just got here and it knows no better.
Right.
By the time they hit first, second grade, they're already so tightly wound, so indoctrinated, not even by school, but by society, by energies, by no, you can't have it, by this is not meant for you, by this is not how we live, by this is what you're supposed to do. They're indoctrinated by all of the supposed to's before they're even in double digits.
Right.
So by the time they're in adulthood, they're completely holding their entire breath.
Yes.
If they're not cautious. Because your body, the physicality of your body, your air is going to be expelled. Air is going to be inhaled, and carbon dioxide is going to be expelled. That's what's going to happen. If you try to hold your breath till you die, you won't. Because physically you cannot.
Thanks.
So that means that is not the art of breathing.
Yes.
That is this physical machine taking care of itself.
I have something to say on that.
Yes.
So what people have to understand and grasp, or what I grasp, because I only can speak on myself. My advice to everyone is to continuously embrace the phase that you're in now, but be ready to let it go so that you can step into that next phase and be that next individual. And don't be, I apologize, I take back individual, divine person. No, divine. entity, a God.
Right.
Because you are a God. You don't have to look. Everything that you're looking for outside of you is in you. You are everything that you desire, whether it's love, compassion, intimacy. So when people understand that they are that thing in which they desire to be,
You know,
they
that's
shall
so
be.
hard for people to believe.
Which is true, but that goes back into breathing. You have to first be able to breathe in
Before
order
you
to
can
accept.
receive
Yes.
it. Ashe.
So breathe. You take them long. It's like intimacy. You take them long, slow, short breaths. You know, when you're frustrated, that's when you breathe the best. When you breathe, like, that's when the lungs are really being filled with air, and then you're really compressing it out. That's why people smoke a lot. When you smoke, you're really breathing. You're just breathing in toxics.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think, for me, the art of true breathing is you breathe through, fish breathe underwater.
Facts.
Through every pore in their body. We're human, we should do the same.
That we should.
So people don't understand that. Let me explain. I breathe, the part that I inhale through depends on the output that I want. I breathe in a lot from my yoni because I inhale. I love my feminine energy. I love my feminine power. I love how I stand in it. I love how I sit in it. I love how I sit in it. So I breathe in through my yoni and exhale through my pores. And when I say my pores, I feel myself exhale in my ankles, my toes, my shins, my fingertips. They all exhale, and you're in this constant state of oneness and meditation with self and spirit.
Yes.
That just allows you to exhale.
Yes.
With your entire body every second of every day. And it's amazing. People don't believe it possible, just like they don't believe it possible that they create their own realities. People don't believe it possible to breathe and exhale through your pores, like breathe in through your yoni and exhale through your fingertips. They don't believe that they can because they don't believe in their own potential. They'll believe in the potential of everybody else.
Right.
Janae can do it. I can't do that. Janae can have a baby at 15, own multiple companies, break her family curse generations, but me, I can't. And most people deal with that area of self-worth.
Right.
And they have to deal with that before they're able to truly breathe, because you have to be worthy to exhale.
Yes, you do.
You have to feel yourself worthy. And you're one of few people who are able to feel themselves worthy without anybody ever telling you to.
Yes.
You were able to step into your ascended masterness earlier, and you didn't even know that's what you did. You just did it.
For sure. So I wanna say something else. I wanna tell you. Hold on, I'm receiving this.
It's okay. We love downloads.
Yeah. Value. If you don't value yourself, how can you value anything outside of you? So what I'm teaching now is triggers. What triggers you to make you feel uncomfortable? I was talking to a friend that got married, and every time she would say a certain thing, it would make him want to, you know what I'm saying, get stiff and be more in his masculine energy. And I told him what I learned is, because I am divine masculine and feminine. Right. I am. And you are as well.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to just tell you what I've learned. I've learned how to put ghost peppers and honey together, and I can get anyone not to sway to my perception, but to see themselves in an elegant space to where you have no choice but to accept and embrace that thing which is triggering you. So once you understand triggers, then you will be able to then face that trigger and then gain that value. And then you will be able to, ricochet that into the reality. So That's the whole thing. Like how you said, you breathe in through your yoni, and then it comes out through your pores.
Absolutely.
That's meditation in motion. And I've been teaching people meditation in motion because I am that. I paint on my reality every day that I breathe. Every moment, every second that I am breathing out something, that thought is the world is my canvas. So I'm showing them that you are that thing in which you desire, which is opulence. You know what I'm saying? And you are worthy of whatever you desire. Who do you have to be that thing? I am a grand master. I am a God in training. I will forever be a student, even when I go and ascend to the next life. But you have to embrace this moment, as I said. Be in this moment. Be present and feel. You don't have to cling to emotion, but you do have to feel. And when you feel, that's when you're able to be.
Absolutely. Okay. Beautiful download. Beautiful download. And it brought up something. Okay, so one of my latest books is The Power of Persuasion, which leads right into your ghost pepper and honey. So I have a course and a book now called The Power of Persuasion. And we talk about just that thing and teach people how to move into that. But before I allow them to even take the course on the power of persuasion, you can read the book you want to, but before I actually teach you how to do it with me, you have to also learn how to breathe and become the environment. Because if I teach you how to persuade people without teaching you how to be someone who should be persuading people, then I've created a problem.
I love this because the more that I stand in my I am and I paint on my universe, I persuade people to be better. Whatever moment, like I don't drink or curse right now, like everybody around me unconsciously, and I'm not telling anybody anything. So it's just that potency. So to everybody out there, I want y'all to take y'all time with yourself. Give yourself grace, give yourself patience. Because every moment is necessary, even when it's not. Everything and nothing is the same thing. And the more that you take your time and you write it down, you're continuously scribing those things that no longer has a point. You put a period on it and you allow it to be. Because those things are the individual who you used to be. And not saying that is not deemed necessary, but it's not necessary when you're going into God state, because that's the emotion that was trapped in a box and you were just a part of that. You are free, you are elegant, you are peace, you are love, and you're light. And we want you to shine lights on angles in which in yourself that was them, because the people need those things. The dimmer that they are, the longer it's going to take those people around you or unconsciously around you to brighten up as well. So I just wanted to say that whole thing.
And we appreciate that, because somebody somewhere, a lot of somebody somewhere needed to hear that exact thing at that exact moment.
Yeah.
And because of the teacher that you are, you were able to tap in and tune into exactly what they needed to hear, even if they didn't know they needed to hear it. So we greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate you. I am so, so grateful for you for your time.
I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, wet, tell them run it up, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, wet, tell them run it up, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell them run it up. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me.